everyone, it's Tom Trush from RightWaySolutions.com with another quick tip for you. Today I'm going to tell you an easy way to write a story that sells. Now to begin, I want you to think about when you were growing up as a child. Basically back then, there was no task that was too tough, there was no obstacle that was too large. Basically there was no limit to your success because of your imagination. If you have kids, you're reminded of this aptitude for achievement almost every single day. The problem is, as you grow up, adults, wiser adults, they begin to target your inner thoughts. They start telling you what you can and what you can't do. And as a result, one skill that begins to deteriorate is storytelling, because you're not using your imagination as much. And in marketing, stories can be very, very persuasive. And they make it so that you really don't need an aggressive sales pitch, because stories, they help people. People can relate to stories. People can't relate to pitches. They know it's a pitch, and so they're automatically get tuned out. But the exact opposite happens with stories. The problem is that people think they have to come up with some kind of elaborate story before they put it down on paper or put it in their marketing materials, because they think people won't read it or they won't listen to it unless it's something that's really off the wall. And that's a huge mistake, because if it's something that's really elaborate, well then your prospects and your clients, they aren't going to relate to it as well. When you're writing stories, just think about common everyday things that you're doing. Driving to the office, going to the grocery store, going on vacation, all that type of stuff is good material for stories. So don't let your inner critic prevent you from doing some storytelling and putting stories in your marketing materials. Now, one of the easiest ways to write a story is by explaining how a client successfully used your product or service. All you have to do is just basically write down some of the highlights and then fill in the gaps, explaining the problem, the action taken, and then the results that were achieved. And wherever possible, just try to paint a picture of, in your prospect's mind, describing some of the details, the sights, sounds, the feelings, all those types of things. Your story just has to basically do a before and an after. What was your prospects or your client's situation before, and then how did it change afterwards? It's very similar to a testimonial, but basically you're just putting it into a story format. So that's one real easy way that you can write a story that sells. So get on out there and tell your tale.